Hello everyone and welcome to this video. This is going to be the first video of hopefully a series of videos, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you basically some behind the scenes footage, if that's what you want to call it, of my writing and producing process. So this is a project called Deus Proximus, and Deus Proximus is essentially a kind of like techno, dance, electronic kind of project, if that's what you want to call it. So me as an artist, I am very heavily influenced by kind of trance music and also techno music as well. And with this project, Deus Proximus, I wanted to kind of go down the more kind of like minimal acid techno, melodic techno kind of route. So that's what I've started. I've just released a track which is out now on Spotify and Apple Music as well, I believe. It's called Sanctum. So if you haven't listened to that yet, it would mean the world to me if you could go ahead and check that out. I will leave links to that song in the description box below. So what we've got here today is a brand new track that I've just started working on. And the way that I basically write my music is I kind of do it in sections or sequences. I think sequences is a better word. So I'll start off writing a kind of sequence, like a block of maybe 12 or 18 bars of just kind of like a continuously looping sequence. And then what I'll do is I'll actually build the track around that sequence. Now, people write songs and produce songs in different ways. Some people may start by writing the intro. Some people may start by writing the chorus, or some people may even start by writing the outro and actually work backwards. I tend to do a kind of like combination of all of those things, but mostly what I will do is I'll actually lay down the kind of like core idea or like the bare bones idea of a song in these kind of little chunks of sequences, and then I'll just kind of work around it. Well, oddly enough, actually the intro is probably one of the last things that I write when I'm writing and producing songs. Not all the time. It's not like a strict thing that I will always write the intro last, but like 9 times out of 10, like the intro is probably like the last thing that I would write. Now, Deus Proximus, you're probably wondering what that's all about. So Deus Proximus is, they are Latin words. Deus, obviously meaning God, and Proximus, meaning neighbour, or next, or close by. So there's a couple of like different kind of translations of what Deus Proximus actually means. So it could mean God and neighbour, or it could mean near to God, close to God, or God is nearby. It depends what your interpretation of what Deus Proximus means. I guess it would be different for everyone. I have my reasons for choosing it, which was mainly because I like to include a lot of cinematic and sort of like atmospheric, almost kind of spiritual elements in my music. And hopefully you'll be able to hear that in the song that I've just released, which is called Sanctum. But anyway, so as I was saying before I get too sidetracked. What we have here today is a song that I'm working on, which is going to be a kind of like a follow-on to Sanctum. Haven't got a name for this one or anything yet. So I just thought I'd take you on a little behind the scenes tour of what happens in my DAW, and you know, the kind of things that happen during my writing process. So anyway, like I was saying, I've got here a kind of like an 18 bar, well, it's actually 16, sorry, it's not 18, chunk of a sequence that I've started writing, and basically what I'm planning to do is build the track around this kind of sequence. So this is the bare bones core idea of the song. This is basically me going, right, okay, I've got an idea in my head, I've got a sound in my head, I need to lay it down as soon as possible before I forget it. So I'll usually work away for like an hour or so, maybe slightly longer, just basically working on these little chunks of sequences here. So what we've got is I've got my kick drums, and then I've got some hats, and then I've got a kind of psytrance style bass line, and then I've got another separate, slightly different bass line underneath that. I've got some atmosphere playing there in the background as well, and I've got my acid bass line here, which is really, really cool. I'll tell you a little bit more about this in just a couple of minutes. A really cool acid bass line VST, kind of like an emulator, and then I've just got some kind of like vocal textures. It's like a vocal pad, which I have in a kind of like a sample library. Love using these vocal textures in my music. They're so versatile for so many different styles. But yeah, so essentially we've got just like, I've got my kick drums on a loop here. Now, this is basically just very kind of roughly mixed. There's no mastering or anything on it at the moment. It's just a very kind of bass mix at the moment. I'll tend to go into like the finer details of mixing and all the mastering stuff once I've actually got the structure down of the song. So I've just got some like basic EQ on these instruments at the moment, and I've got the levels to where I think they should be, but yeah, I'll probably go in and tweak those afterwards, just before I go ahead and master the song. So I've got my kicks. Tempo of the song is 145, so we've just got my kick drums here. Now, I've actually pitched those kick drums up a little bit, because how I had them before, there was a little bit too much low end in there for this kind of song, this style of song. Now, for my kick drums, I'm actually getting that from a VST called Numa Pro 2. This is an absolutely awesome VST. Especially for kind of like trance, techno, psytrance, acid. Absolutely amazing. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that this was actually discontinued. It was a free VST. It was made by Ronan Fed. Now, I don't know if you can still get this or not, but I did read that it had been discontinued. If you look for it, I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere, but luckily I've saved the installer file for this, so I'm always going to have access to this. So this is where the kick drums are coming from. And then we've got my hats. I'm not particularly too happy with these hi-hats at the moment. These are kind of just like placeholders at the moment. I'm more than likely going to change these hats. They're not really giving me the kind of percussion sound and rhythm that I kind of wanted. It's got kind of like a ping pong delay effect on them. So I probably will use those somewhere in the song, but like I said, these are just placeholders at the moment. Um, and then we've got this kind of psytrance style bass line here. Now this is going to sound a little bit strange because I've got a side chain compressor on it from the kick drum, so it's going to sound a little bit odd. Actually, that's not the one with the. Sorry, that's not the one with the side chain compressor on it. I'm sorry. This one's coming from again Numa Pro, and this is kind of started off as a preset, but I went in and changed quite a few of the parameters to make it a little bit different, just to make it unique for me. To fit into this particular project. Now this one is the one that's got the sidechain compressor on it, so let's check this out. So you can kind of hear that sidechain compressor there. If I turn it off, see what it sounds like with it off. Oh yeah, definitely more boingy. Got a bit of a boing to it. Yeah, there's a little bit of noise coming from that. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I think what it probably is no, it's not coming from there. Interesting. I thought it might have been coming from. Oh yeah, there's some reverb on there. I need to change that because it's creating a little bit of noise. It's not too bad though. But yeah, so this bass line is coming from one of my favorite VST instruments that I like to use quite a lot. It's quite an old one now, but it's still such a really powerful virtual synthesizer, especially if your DAW supports VST oversampling. That really helps. But this, yeah, I absolutely love Spire. Then we've got some atmosphere. So let's check this out. So that also has some sidechain compression on it as well. Then we've got this acid bass line here, and to make this I'm using this this emulator here. It's called the BL303 by Use Music. It is a free VST. It's absolutely amazing. I think it was free. Yes, it was free. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so to get that kind of classic acid sound, what I've done is I've just used this plugin here called HF Exciter, which comes with Cakewalk Sonar, and that's basically just a distortion plugin. I've got a little bit of Curves AQ on here as well. This is a really cool equalizer, and it's kind of like I don't know if it uses AI. I think it's some kind of like engine where it analyzes your mixes and all your instruments, and it gives you like these suggestions. But yeah, it's really cool. It's by Waves. Waves Audio. It's called Curves AQ. I'm not here to kind of talk about this EQ and sell Waves plugins, but it is absolutely amazing, so I recommend you check that out. And then I've got a bit of reverb and just a little bit of delay on there as well. So I'm not going to show you it just yet. I'll show you in a sec. And then I've just got my vocal textures here. Again, just with a little bit of EQ, some sidechain compression, and just a little bit of reverb on there as well. So I'm just going to show you what this sounds like. Now, it is quite quiet in the mix. That's intentional, as you'll hear when I play it all together shortly. But it's one of those where you can tell if it's not there kind of thing, even though it's really, really quiet. Anyway, so that is basically what is making up this kind of entire sequence here. Now, what I've been doing for the past kind of hour is I've been working on this acid kind of bass line here. So what I've done is I've programmed in all of the MIDI notes that I want to create the melody of the bass line. You see there, it's just like a repeating pattern. And what you also probably notice as well is that I've got these kind of like funky automation lines on here. Kind of looks kind of cool actually. And what this automation is doing is, I'll just quickly show you. So this automation here is changing the tuning of the instrument. So basically 0%, and then all the way up to I was going to say 100% then, but it's not in percentage, is it, by the looks of it? So basically what this automation here is doing, I'll just quickly show you, is it's changing this tune dial from 0 all the way up to a whole octave. So you'll hear that in a second. And then the other automation that I've got is this one here. And what this is doing is this is changing the filter cutoff dial here. So it's just a basic zigzag pattern, so just like up, down, gradually, like that. And combined with the other automation, with the changing the octave of the tuning, it sounds pretty cool. So just close that back up again. Okay, so the acid bass line, or lead part, whatever you want to call it, essentially sounds like this. So I like writing quite kind of like dark sounding melodies, and I thought that sounded pretty cool. It's got like a bit of a kind of dramatic, ominous kind of vibe to it. So yeah, so basically that's what I do, is I just create these kind of sections or chunks of sequences, and then I build the song around it. So, you know, I add in different instruments, different effects, different kind of like vocal samples, obviously, and I like to change kind of like the chord progressions as well. But as I'm kind of doing this kind of like melodic techno or minimal acid techno kind of stuff, There's not going to be as many kind of like chord changes in it as there usually would be. There's still going to be some, but I'm not going to give the game away too much because, like I said, this literally is going to be probably the next song that I release. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what it sounds like all together. So here we go. Okay, so there we have it, folks. That's what it sounds like at the moment. I'm really looking forward to continuing to work on this. It's going to sound really epic once it's finished, and I absolutely love doing this as well. And I'm particularly fond of this this acid sequence here. And what I'm likely going to do is throughout the song, I'm kind of going to break up this sequence and add in some like different notes to really kind of get like a some really kind of like odd time signatures with against the 4/4 beat. Yeah, so really looking forward to it. Now I'm sorry if I haven't explained things particularly well. I'm kind of used to working alone. This is kind of what I do. This is pretty much this is all I do really. This is kind of like my main passion, my main hobby. And I kind of don't really do videos very often. So I kind of like probably leave out certain technical details and stuff like that, but the more I do videos, the more I get used to it. But I appreciate you kind of watching anyway, and hopefully I will be doing another one of these videos soon. If you have enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like it. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so, because I'm going to be releasing more videos like this, and also probably some like music videos, and also kind of like little snippets and trailers of kind of other upcoming releases and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I'll leave links also to my social medias in the description below. So if you're on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. There'll be some more kind of like behind the scenes photos and footage and all kinds of shenanigans going on there. But yeah, so hope you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you again soon. Bye for now.